Good. I guess it's not in the afternoon. It's almost 10:45 at night. Gator Nation, good afternoon. Jaden Woods is officially a Florida Gator for the 2026 season. News just came out that he met with John Summerall, the defensive coordinator Brad White, Bam Hardman on Tuesday afternoon. And apparently, the decision was made there that Jaden Woods was officially going to be coming back to the Florida Gators. On this episode of Denmark and Marsh, I am Dylan Denmark. Wanted to hop on real quick to give my live immediate reaction to this signing. So if you've been keeping up with all the Gator news, make sure we're subscribed to the YouTube channel right there below. Hit that for us and like the video before we get rolling. This is pretty big. Jaden Woods, he was expected to hit the portal, which he did. I was looking through Zach Albaverdi's article he wrote about it a year ago. Woods made 3 starts in the 12 games, earned a freshman all SEC honors, along with the Vernell Brown III. It goes through a couple of the stats. He had a pretty good season. Had his first career interception against Ole Miss, returning for 25 yards. He's got 28 tackles, 3.5 sacks, a couple of QB hurries, a fumble recovery. But the biggest thing is the potential with him is so high. He's only a freshman. So, if you're keeping up with the transfer portal and everything that's happened with the Gators, the people that you wanted to keep, Lagway, most of the Gator fans, they wanted him to go. It was kind of known by both sides. Okay, we kind of, we want something fresh. So then you turn your attention to Jaden Ball, who was number 1 for the running back. Your receivers on the outside, VB3 and Dallas Wilson. Those 2 receivers are freshmen. Miles Graham, the linebacker, and now Jaden Woods. All of those guys are coming back this year for the Florida Gators. And not to be a little too far ahead of myself, but when you look at the schedule and you look at the talent on paper with Aaron Philo at quarterback with this roster, it is hard not to say that Florida should be a good team. There's no more of being patient and saying, okay, let's wait. And we got to see what kind of guys we can get in and say, okay, we got to wait 2 years to get his guys in. No more of that. You look at the Gator schedule, you start with a couple of cream puffs. But then after that, you're playing Auburn. Let me pull up the Gator schedule exactly for this season coming up. It's Auburn pretty early at Auburn, week 3. Ole Miss at home, at Missouri, South Carolina, at Texas. That gets tough. Bye week. Florida, Georgia, which is in Atlanta. No more Florida, Georgia, and Jacksonville the next 2 years in 26 and 27. You play Oklahoma at home after Georgia. So you have a three-game tough stretch. At Texas, bye week, Georgia, and then you play at home to Oklahoma, and then at Kentucky, Vanderbilt, and then you go on the road to Florida State. Call me crazy. I think this team, on paper, obviously there's still a lot of things that can happen. Florida should be at worst 7-5. Looking at this, they should be 8-4. With your losses probably being to Texas, Georgia, Oklahoma, and then I would throw in an Ole Miss for what they look like right now. Potentially with all the guys that they're expecting to have come back, and we'll know more with Ole Miss with their playoff game being tomorrow against Miami. This is great news for John Summerall, for the Gators and Gator Nation. I don't know what better they could have done with roster retention from what they have. So if you look at, I was looking through Zach's article, 14 transfers as of the moment. Aaron Philo being the biggest one, the quarterback. You got a couple specialists from Tulane, the punter and the kicker, a couple receivers from Georgia Tech, the James Madison tight end, the running back from Ohio State, he played at Ohio State. The biggest one so far outside of the quarterback Aaron Philo has been the defensive end from Jacksonville State. He seems like he's going to be a plug and play guy. And then the safety they got from Baylor, DJ Coleman. So 14 transfers, 18 high school recruits that committed from early signing day. And then you have 43 returners so far from the roster from 2025. 43 of those guys are expected to carry over to the 2026 season. So if you do some quick math on that, what was that number? It was you had about 75 guys. So you still have about another, you're still going to have another 20 guys added to this roster or so for the upcoming season, which I would expect the vast majority of that would be coming from the transfer portal. So outstanding news. Jaden Woods is going to be a Gator. He hit the portal a couple of weeks ago, took a visit to Texas. I would expect, like Jaden Ball was highly sought after. Jaden Ball, although never did hit the transfer portal. All the other running backs hit the transfer portal. Once that news came out, you kind of expected Jaden Ball was going to be returning. And then the last, big piece of the puzzle that was on the 2025 roster was, would Jaden Woods come back to the Gators? He did. And this team looks like they are really, really good on paper. This is pretty exciting, and we'll see what it's going to be like for the next couple of weeks. The transfer portal window is open from January 2nd to January 15th. Right now it's January 7th. So we still have another week, another 8 days. And this is pretty good for Florida Gators and what they've done. So appreciate everybody hopping in. I see a couple of you rolling in, nobody in the chat. It is pretty late at night. I know most of us blue-collar workers, not myself, are asleep, and we'll catch this in the morning. So make sure you share this with your friends and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We've seen I got about 20 subscribers yesterday from the channel, trying to get to 1,000. We were at like 670. We're trying to get to 1,000. So we appreciate people hopping in and share this with your friends. And good night for